Traders and investors fail. Why? Watch now.
Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. Today we will discuss about the important topic, real fact going on market. Why traders and investors they fail in market? Because they don't know the three stages. First one is standard deviation calculation and the levels where to enter and exit, and the second one is the internal time clock, TPO count, and the third one is how the bell curve development process is going on. So the three steps very important. So for example, for traders side we will check why the traders are fail. So traders fail because of they will not enter on -1 standard deviation levels. They always enter on +1 standard deviation levels. They don't know these levels, where to enter, where to exit. So these are all auction process happened in market. So traders should be entered this -1 standard deviation levels, and the confirmation came, they have to fix the target for plus standard deviation levels. So these are the levels traders should know. Second, traders should know the internal time clock. After development process done, what will the internal time clock? What is the count of the internal time clock? It will tell you the count. So once merge the file, it will give the counts, how the internal time clock, how much count is going on, this bell curve is developed or not. So like this stages, second stage you have to clearly understand for traders. This area, the bell curve development, where the development process is going to happen. So auction point low, auction point high. So how you calculate? These traders they don't know. So three steps, if the traders they don't know the standard deviation levels, internal time clock, and the bell curve development process, where to enter, where to exit. So most of the traders will fail in market. So they have to learn the real auction process happened in market. So next we go for investor part. Investors they will not fail, but what happened, they holding the money for long term. So investors they have to check the long term chart. They have to check where suppose if the investors they entered, for example this stock Zerodha, the investors entered on 6,000 levels, they will hold the fund. So how many days, how many months it will take to revisit this price, we don't know. But these investors they don't know. Investors check the candle. If they break out, they think that it will go upside, it will break and go upside. But real fact, the investors should know the standard deviation levels of long term charts. So the investors should always enter the standard deviation levels, -1 standard deviation, and they have to fix the target for +1 standard deviation. They have to wait for, they have to count the internal time clock also, and they want to know the bell curve development process, where it will going to happen, bottom of the auction and the top of the auction. So here these three steps investors should know. Investors should enter always in bottom of the -1 standard deviation levels, not +1 standard deviation levels, because they are holding their funds long term. They cannot get any returns. The real fact, they are holding their money but they cannot get any returns. Investors always should enter on bottom -1 standard deviation levels. They cannot enter on +1 standard deviation levels without development the bell curve. Bell curve once developed only it will go for new area. So this bell curve development process investors should know. This area bell curve development only it will go for new high prices. Without development it will not go. So investors should know the standard deviation levels of long term chart, internal time clock for TP count, this bell curve developed or not. They want to know the where the bell curve development process going to happen, auction point high and auction point low. So these three steps investors and traders should know. If they don't know, they are in fail in market. So as per SEBI report, you know that for first 2 years the future and option traders they are fail in market because of they don't know the levels, -1 standard deviation levels they don't know, +1 standard deviation levels they don't know, especially for traders. They don't know the internal time calculation and they don't know the bell curve development process, where it going to happen, where is the target point, where to enter, where to exit. Investors no problem, they will not lose money, but the fund will not hold long term without any returns. Sometimes some investors the fund will be hold for long times without any returns. They should plan to enter always -1 standard deviation levels. They will not enter on +1 standard deviation levels. They have to avoid to invest from top. They have to invest in bottom, because this area bell curve development process once complete only it will go for new prices. So investors they don't block your money for long term without any returns. So if your money should be you can get money returns, only you have to plan for invest in -1 standard deviation levels and you have to exit in +1 standard deviation levels. After the bell curve development, then you have to plan for wait for the levels to be break, then you have to invest for new area, then only it will go for other prices. So investors and traders they should learn about the internal time clock, standard deviation levels and bell curve development process. Without this don't trade in market, because market will throw you without because you don't know the entry point and exit point without these three steps. After know these steps only you can know all the entry and the exit points. So learn market profile tool. This is a fantastic tool. It will give you all the natural process between the bell curve development done by the buyers and the sellers. This totally auction process, it's naturally formed between buyers and sellers. So this is the real method of charting technique, market profile tool. So learn market profile and make your investment and trading easy. So thank you all. Thank you for supporting my channel.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.